So what if you could whip up a brand new, studio-quality cartoon for your kid every single morning? A few years ago, that would have sounded like straight-up science fiction. But today, it's real, and it's completely rewriting the rules for kids' entertainment.
I mean, just think about that for a second. Not just some random cartoon, but a custom story about, I don't know, a friendly dinosaur who's learning ballet or an astronaut who's also a secret baker. Whatever your child happens to be obsessed with that week. A totally personalized adventure ready to go before you've even had your first cup of coffee. And that is not an exaggeration. You know, the process that used to take huge teams of animators months and months of grueling work, it can now be done by pretty much anyone in just a few minutes. The barrier to entry for making beautiful animation has basically just disappeared. So what's the engine behind this incredible shift? Well, we're talking about a whole new generation of AI tools that have basically become an infinite content machine. And this isn't just about making things a little faster. This is a fundamental change in how we create and even think about media. A whole ecosystem of these really powerful AI models like Sora and Luma has just exploded onto the scene. And these aren't just clever little toys, they're more like sophisticated, creative partners. They essentially hand you the keys to your very own Pixar-level animation studio, but without that billion-dollar price tag. Suddenly, your imagination is the only real budget you need to worry about.
So, how does this all actually work? Well, if you're picturing some super complex technical process, you're in for a surprise. It's shockingly easy. The entire animation pipeline, the whole shebang, can be broken down into 4 pretty simple steps.
Okay, so it all kicks off with the story, which you can just generate from a simple idea. From there, another AI can create the whole world and the characters in it. Then, a different model takes those static pictures and brings them to life with movement. And to wrap it all up, you can generate a unique voiceover and soundtrack. Every single piece of this puzzle can be powered by AI.
And the spark for this whole creative fire? It can be a prompt as simple as this. A cute bear learns to share honey. And that's literally it. That one sentence is all you need to kickstart the entire process. But where the real magic happens is in how the AI can take this one simple idea and spin it in a dozen different ways. For instance, just toss in the word fairy tale, and bam, the AI just gets it. It instantly creates this magical, enchanting world. It knows that means you want deep, misty forests, maybe some glowing mushrooms, and probably a castle off in the distance. It gives our little bear this classic, timeless vibe. But okay, what if you're going for a totally different vibe, something more action-packed? With a single word change to manga, the whole look and feel just shifts. All of a sudden, you've got those huge expressive eyes. You've got those dynamic action lines. It has this energy that just jumps right off the screen. A totally different story, all from the same simple idea.
Or, hey, you could ask for a photographer style, and just look at how the AI interprets that. It creates this incredibly realistic scene. It actually understands concepts like professional lighting and that blurry background effect, a shallow depth of field. It makes it feel like a National Geographic photographer just happened to capture this perfect moment in the wild.
Now, of course, a huge hurdle with this stuff has always been character consistency. Making sure your main character looks like the same bear from one shot to the next. But now, new tools actually let you train the AI on a specific character. You can essentially lock in their appearance, which totally solves this problem and makes creating longer, coherent stories a real possibility.
And for the final touch, the voice. You can now pick from this massive and constantly growing library of AI-generated kid voices. As you can see from just this small sample, there are tons of options across lots of different languages, letting you find the perfect narrator for any story, anywhere in the world.
Okay, so the technology it's mind-blowing, no doubt. But, and this is a really big but, it forces us to ask some much bigger, much more important questions about how all of this content actually impacts its audience, little kids. And the research here, well, it paints a very different kind of picture.
Get this, 17 hours. That's the average amount of screen time a 2-year-old gets per week. That works out to almost 2.5 hours every single day, which is a pretty shocking number, especially when you stack it up against what child development experts recommend. Patricia Kuhl is one of the top brain researchers in the world, and her work is built on studying thousands and thousands of babies. Her conclusion is just crystal clear. For young kids, learning requires human interaction. As she puts it, a real person can teach you brilliant things, but a machine cannot teach you anything. It doesn't matter how great the cartoon is, it just can't replace a person.
And the medical research on this, it's really, really clear. Too much screen time is linked to a whole laundry list of developmental risks. We're talking everything from delays in communication and social skills to attention problems and messed up sleep. And maybe most scary of all, it's even been associated with actual physical changes to the brain, like a thinning of the cortex. That's the part that handles critical thinking.
And that's exactly why you see organizations like the World Health Organization being so blunt in their guidance. For kids between 2 and 4, they recommend no more than 1 hour of screen time a day, and they add less is always better.
So, okay, if a never-ending fire hose of brand new screen content isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the research points us back to something way more traditional, something built on the proven power of 3 simple things: rhyme, rhythm, and repetition. It turns out there's a mountain of research that shows classic nursery rhymes are an absolute developmental powerhouse. As this chart shows, they directly boost the key skills you need before you can even start to read. They literally tune a child's ear to the different sounds inside words. It's called phonological awareness, and that is the absolute bedrock of learning how to read.
And when you actually put the 2 experiences side by side, the difference is just stark. AI content is a one-way street. It's passive viewing of a screen. Nursery rhymes, on the other hand, are a 2-way active connection with another person. They involve rhythm, they involve physical movement like clapping or marching, and most importantly, they involve that vital face-to-face connection.
And the long-term payoff for this? It's honestly stunning. A huge finding from literacy research shows this direct, measurable link. A kid who knows just a handful of nursery rhymes by the time they're 4 is a much better reader by the time they're 8. It's a powerful predictor of their future success.
So all of this, it brings us to a really big choice, a dilemma for any parent or creator living in this new AI world. We have these absolutely incredible tools right at our fingertips, but we also have this very clear science about what a child's brain actually needs to grow and thrive.
And it really boils down to one question, doesn't it? What are we trying to optimize for? An infinite stream of new digital content? Or an invaluable real-life human connection? You know, after seeing all of this incredible technology, it's kind of powerful to remember that for a little kid, the most engaging, most educational, and most important tool for their development might not be an app at all. It might just be the face of someone who loves them.